So we're the Internet Explorers, and this is our final for ICT-401. My name is Megan Neuschwander.
My name is Brianna Yang.
My name is Marie Yang.
My name is Bang Tao. So for the executive summary, what I did for El Taco Loco is I pretty much just opened up with something maybe that is kind of true towards restaurants or like to any business out there that doesn't have a solid CRM system to rely on. And after I did that, I just went right into why Salesforce is important for El Taco Loco, for its easy to use, familiar user interface, easy data management. And then right after that, I spoke on how Salesforce can change El Taco Loco as a restaurant and the system and I guess just everything that El Taco Loco needed to change in order to be successful. And after that, I explained what audits we implemented inside the CRM system, which is part of the planning and organization, acquisition and implementation, delivery and support, monitor and evaluate, and and I just lastly spoke about how our team is proficient at making these ideas possible. And that's everything about executive summary.
So the vision of this growing business, El Taco Loco, is to find a way to integrate their inventory, orders, customer delivery information, and marketing materials. They're currently taking orders by phone, and their delivery drivers have to enter the addresses into a phone app, which leads to El Taco Loco integrating a CRM system to improve their efficiency. Implementing a CRM system would allow them to streamline their order process, store customer data, inventory, and marketing materials to the system. This is broken into two sections. First, it is showing the current state process and then the future state of El Taco business. Going off on the current state of El Taco Loco's store, in-store orders, they are currently taken at the front counter, and the cashier will write down and give it to the cooks. Once an order is placed, they will call out the number. For takeout and delivery options, customers must call into the store to place the order. Once an order comes in, whoever is taking the order will write it down on paper. The manager will communicate the order with the cooks and assign it to a delivery worker by giving them a paper slip with the receipt and address of the customer. As for inventory tracking, there is physical printed paper checklist to check off what is needed. For scheduling workers, there's a printer schedules and it is posted inside El Taco Loco. Employees are able to view them to see if they are scheduled that day or week. If an employee wants to work overtime, there will be a sheet that he or she can write their name and the date wanted inside the store. When closing and opening registers, there will be a deposit ticket form that will need to be filled out when opening and closing the register. As for marketing, it will be through the word of mouth, delivery orders, and flyers. Moving forward to the future state of El Taco Loco's business, cashiers will take orders at the front counter by the use of the software. The computer is connected to the CRM system that communicates the orders with the cooks who makes the food, the driver who delivers the food, and the shift manager who oversees the process. Delivery orders can be called in or placed online through the store website. The online orders will automatically be placed, and the contact information on these orders will be sent to the CRM system. As for inventory count, a team member will be able to use a tablet that scans each inventory box. The use of a tablet is linked to the CRM system that tracks the number of boxes counted and scan each inventory box, which will give them a digital invoice. The registers will be connected to the CRM system to keep track of sales for the day, and will also help close out with the help of closing the registers and entering sales information to revenues and expenses for the day. Wages and statements will also use the CRM system to send out information to the employees. Since the customer data will be stored in the CRM system, the restaurant will have the opportunity to send out flyers and coupons to local customers. They will also start an email distribution list. The CRM system will also allow the restaurant to better track where the target markets are. Goals and objectives of this project are to analyze the current documentation process of El Taco Loco, then find a CRM system that will eliminate non-essential and non-working data sources, then replace them with a single point of truth for customer and prospect information. Currently, El Taco Loco uses mostly paper receipts to keep track of the business. When mistakes are made on paper, it can be difficult to distinguish exactly where specific issues occur. Implementing a CRM system will make their documentation process more efficient and give them secure risk management. The factors that will help determine if the new CRM process is successful will include if profits have increased as a result of the online orders, if inventory takes a significantly less amount of time to complete, and if there are fewer errors in accounting. We'll be focusing on transitioning the current process to the future process. This phase will be gradually done in two major steps. What is important is that all the people involved in the current system can adjust to and understand the future process. We will be implementing a new CRM system, Salesforce, for all the registers and sales transactions within the store. Employees can also use this Salesforce app to close out their registers as well to keep track of sales for the week or the day. Wages and statements will be sent out through the system to the respective employee. From then on, the financial accounts from El Taco Loco will be trained in and in charge of operating the new system. As for order taking, we will be implementing Salesforce that will connect orders taken from the front register to the kitchen. Employees who interact with the current order taking will be trained using this software. This will help the order system for better and efficient results. The current menu will be added to the new platform, so the front register will just have to click on the item. From then on, the order will be sent to the kitchen to be made. And once the order is made, the kitchen will send the order to the front, and a ticketing system will notify the customer when the order is ready. We will also be implementing the software for the current delivery system. When an order for delivery is done, using the delivery service management app in Salesforce, the employee making the delivery will be notified. Along with this, all the contact information about the customer will be stored in the app as well as GPS location for the address. Moving forward to step 2, we will be implementing Salesforce to track inventory coming into the store. By using a tablet, managers who receive shipments can have access to the delivery schedule and store invoices on the platform. Managers will also be trained in the software, then employees will be taught the system afterwards. Lastly, by storing all the customer data from deliveries and from in-store sales, email marketing and mail coupons will be sent out to these addresses. The manager will oversee managing the CRM system and trained to do so. And lastly, we will be conducting surveys with the employees to see how the latest changes are going. Surveys will be conducted to evaluate the current system for the employees who interact with Salesforce. Based on the results, the adjustments that need to be made will be made. Not only that, but we will also see if coupons are being used to track how well the marketing phase is going.
So now I will be taking you through our functional requirement flow chart. Yeah, so this is our functional requirement flowchart. This one up here, there's actually two different flowcharts on this chart, but I'll start off with inventory first. Starting here in the manager's swim lane, the manager would count the inventory that they currently have, and from there they would then input the inventory or the current inventory count into the new CRM Salesforce platform, and if they have enough, they will confirm their inventory count through the CRM platform again, and that leads you to the last part of this flowchart. But if they do not have enough inventory, they can fill out an inventory order form that is actually already on the Salesforce platform, and they can send that form to their supplier or to their distributor. The distributor will then confirm their inventory order, and then the manager receives the inventory invoice that the suppliers shipped them, and then this will send an online record or in-store payment to distribution, and then the manager receives or records the payment, and then they confirm the record of the order, and then they receive the inventory, and then that leads you all the way back to the beginning, which is inputting that new inventory into the CRM system. So that's just a general overview of our inventory system. Incorporated with that is also the accounting system. The other system that we have is the order taking system. This one is a little bit more complex, but because you can either order in person or online. But the customer will be placing the order both in this place, and they both get their data inputted into, or both get their order inputted into the CRM platform, which is Salesforce, and you confirm the order. The employees confirm the order, and then the order is entered into the CRM platform, and then that data goes back into Salesforce and stored into their accounts. The order is then distributed to the managers or the cooks or the employees making the delivery, and then the order is prepared by the employees, and then the data then gets sent back out when the order is completed and from there on, depending on if the customer, if it's a delivery order, if it's an in-store, they would then pay, and then the payment is received, and then the process ends. So that is just a general overview of our functional requirement flow chart. So I will now be taking you guys through our CRM functional requirements. As Marima mentioned before, Altaka Loco is currently doing a lot of things on paper, and we believe that by shifting to Salesforce, they'll actually be saving a lot of time, and they'll be able to store more data. So what we have suggested was using Salesforce, like I said, but how will they get there? For their order taking system, they will need training for all their employees. Cashiers, cooks, delivery, and shift managers are all included in this. They will also need to have a better understanding of how the Salesforce software works and how it will be implemented. They will also need to update hardware whenever that is necessary. They also need a website or online platform to connect to Salesforce. They also need mobile devices, and they also need employee-owned cars, and then they also need to and they will also need to account for budgeting and costs. For their inventory system, the shift manager will definitely need training in understanding how the Salesforce system works with the inventory system. They also need a tablet or a computer just to be able to record and input data into the Salesforce system. They also need Salesforce as well. For accounting, the shift manager, the delivery employees, and the cashier will need training in how to navigate the Salesforce program. They also need computer or hardware for that, mobile devices, and also Salesforce. our data requirements for El Taco Loco, some of them were mentioned earlier in our functional requirements flowchart, but this just takes you through what are the points of data that is actually interacting with our Salesforce platform. On this flowchart, you can see that there's the three different systems that we identified earlier: orders, inventory, and accounting. Three data points that happens under orders is customer information. What kind of data are customers giving you to input into your computer or your ordering system? Payment received is also data that you would be collecting in the order system, and sales as well. For inventory, you are collecting data from your current inventory count, incoming inventory order amount, and also the inventory order invoice. For accounting, you are collecting invoices and also invoice payments. As you follow each of these data points down into the lower level of the flowchart, there is 4 different areas that will be collecting the data that is coming to them. For orders, customer information, that goes directly into the Salesforce platform that collects customer information. Sales and customer information also goes into open orders. All the inventory counts or the inventory orders or shipments goes into the inventory. And then the last one is accounting. Like I mentioned before, accounting is one of the systems that is integrated in both the orders and inventory. So you can see that there's data coming from the order system, and there's also data coming from the inventory system that is all going into the accounting system. So this is just a general overview of what our data requirements are for El Taco Loco.
So for our Salesforce CRM system, we decided to focus on inventory. The first thing we did was to create a tab about our current inventories. This keeps track of the individual inventory names, the current inventory that is in stock, and the quantity needed, which is 100 subtracted by the current inventory, since we set 100 as the maximum amount of items they can hold. After that, there's a place where they can enter in the quantity received after the order has been delivered. And then once that's entered, the updated inventory after order received will show up, which is the quantity received and the sum of the current inventory. In this case, they needed 65 avocados but only received 40. So as you can see, it's 75 after the order received, which means they do not have enough. And then to show you the report of the inventory delivery receipt, you can see they all add up to 100 except for the avocados.
So then for the second part of our Salesforce implementation with inventory, we decided to show you the supplies order and how that would be showcased. So we have the supply name, the quantity we need, the unit cost per quantity, and the total cost. So quantity and unit cost are multiplied to get us the total cost. And we also have a section that shows us which vendor we ordered from. So then if we go into reports, view the inventory invoice, this is what it looks like. And then at the very end, all the total costs are added up to get us the grand total for that inventory order.
So this is our audit plan, and the first thing, or first things first, is planning and organization. So defining the IT process and organization. And so what this audit plan is all about is making sure that the orders and reports are all done electronically and done in, I guess, on like documents almost, and just make sure that all these documents and reports that we receive from the orders and invoices are organized and organized efficiently and collected.
For the acquisition and implementation of the new Salesforce software, Iltakaloka will have to acquire and maintain the technology infrastructure. This is important because developing an effective CRM system is vital for the growth of their company. And to do this, they will have to gradually train their employees into the new Salesforce system, as well as management will have to decide which employees have access to what information. We briefly came up with a little mock version of this using Salesforce and the hierarchy of who has what level to what data, with the cooks at the bottom, kind of managers in the center, and the restaurant owner with all of the access to the data. And then they will also have to consistently monitor and evaluate all the risks associated with a new CRM system and document the process, which will affect future changes within the company.
So the next part of the audit plan is delivery and support and managing problems should they arise. So if there is ever a bump in or a conflict with the workflow in regards to a new CRM system, the employee that encounters the issue will first flag the problem based on what it is. After flagging or making note of the issue, they will notify, they will actually work backwards from the point where the issue arrives and try to figure out how they can solve the problem first. If they can't solve the problem, the next person that they would go to is the shift manager. If the shift manager can't solve the issue, then they will directly call a Salesforce technical support so that they can help solve the issue. Also depends on whether if it is a technical issue in regards to Salesforce or if it's just human error. It is important to note that that the employee who encounters the problem first will first try to solve the problem, and it would work its way up the hierarchy that we developed earlier.
The last section of our audit plan is monitor and evaluate. Oh no, okay, we start on it. Shoot, I messed up.
You want me to just start the recording over?
Oh no, it's okay, I got it. So the last section of our audit plan is monitor and evaluate. A requirement implemented into this business consists of having managers supervise employees to make sure Salesforce is working the way that it should be. The manager will ensure that there are no issues internally with Salesforce, as well as checking in with employees who are directly working with Salesforce. They will also look through the data inputs to make sure that it is correctly placed, and if there is ever a problem that occurs, the team will solve it before continuing on with the process. To ensure that everything is working properly, only the manager will have access to all of the sections of Salesforce, as well as double-checking all the checkpoints of interaction with Salesforce every hour while they are still on the job.
Thank you for watching our final presentation by the Internet Explorers. We believe that this new process and implementation of Salesforce will help Iltakaloka achieve their goals of increasing profits, streamlining their data sharing, and having fewer accounting errors.